Peace. What's good, y'all? It's your brother God Science. I'm up in here once again. Shout out, special salute to the few that do watch the video. Subscribe. I really appreciate y'all. True indeed. We're gonna do another review here, and this is WestsideGunn Heels Have Eyes Part 2. And I've been listening for a while, so let's go in and I'll tell y'all what I think. Anyway, if y'all don't, come on, y'all know about WestsideGunn. Griselda, you know what I mean? Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, dope MCs, Boldy James, my favorite. Just a dope crew that has like one foot in the past, bringing you that real, but they twist it and make it their own. You know what I mean? So it doesn't sound dated or anything like that. Now, WestsideGunn, to me, a lot of people say he sounds like Ghost. Yeah, he has that type of flow, but I think he has his own flow, like this high pitch flow that some people don't like, but I like it. But anyway, I listened to this album, and one thing I got off the album, and I'm glad that he did, which, as you can see, the album cover is, if you watched wrestling back in the days, Ted DiBiase, on the cover, is the production on this album. And a lot of the production from Griselda is handled by Derringer, which is a dope producer. Sometimes you have Alchemist, which is one of my favorite producers. But on this album, I've seen a lot of different changes. You got a lot of dudes that I never heard of, but the landscape, like Danny LaFleur. You got Conductor Williams on there also. You know what I'm saying? DJ Muggs, the great DJ Muggs. I'm glad that he switched up the production a little bit because it gives the album a good feel. You know what I'm saying? Overall, it's the same. You know what I'm saying? It's the same, Griselda, that coke talk, you know what I'm saying, that street talk. But, and I won't say out of the whole Griselda that WestsideGunn is my favorite. Like I said, Boldy James, which I think is a part of them now, but he's always been one of my favorite, especially when he links up with the Alchemist. He reminds me a little bit, just a little, of Prodigy. I think they got a good chemistry, but WestsideGunn is dope. You know what I'm saying? He got the, the trademark WestsideGunn, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And they carved out their own niche in this industry, showing and proving that there is a fan base for, it doesn't have to be trap. It doesn't have to be whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? There's a market for that. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing their thing. And like I said, music is dope. This album, I actually listened to the whole album through. I didn't skip one song, and I gotta say it's dope. It's a dope album, you know what I'm saying? Is it something that's groundbreaking than all his other albums? No, I won't say that. But it is dope. A lot of albums have been dropping this year, a lot. We had the Clips album, we had the Raekwon, we had Tyler the Creator dropped. A lot of albums been dropping, you know what I'm saying? Ghostface just dropped Supreme Clientele. I just did an interview on a review on that. And this album, I was playing, it was so much albums dropping, I wanted to just focus on one at the time, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, when the albums drop, they come out with like a review the same damn day. I don't know how you can listen to an album, and now if you've been listening for the whole day, I don't know. It takes me a while for me to do a review. I gotta sit with the album. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if I'm going driving or something like that. I gotta play the album in my car. You know what I'm saying? Listen to how it sounds. Sometimes a song will grow on you. Sometimes you listen to it the first time and you be like, that's not it. But then after a while, you listen to this song and you're like, yo, all right, this is dope. So, you got to sit with music for a while. And I know in this era, A lot of people can't do that, but it is what it is. This is the microwave era, but dope album. You know what I'm saying? Some of the standout cuts for me that I like, and if you haven't checked out the album, go check it out. Is Mandela's one of them. Dope song. I love the beat on that album, on that song, and it's that classic minimal. The sample is running it, but it's not overpowering the lyrics. You got songs like Bracola Valka. That's probably my favorite song. I don't even know how to pronounce the song, but I think it's Bracola Volkov. But it's dope. It's dope. And then you got West Side Gun, Love You Too. And I don't think he's trying to be Ralph Tresvant or and be the best singer on there, but he's doing his thing. He's making his point, bringing his point across, but it's dope. And then you got Stove God on there too, doing his thing. Dope album, man. It's a dope album. I definitely will play it again. I always been a Griselda fan. You know what I mean? Always been. I come from that era, that '90s era. You know what I mean? So I like that boom bap, but at the same time, I love how they put a twist to it where it's not sounding dated. You know what I mean? They bring their own style and their own flavor to it. Um, Heel Cena is another fire song. It got a lot of it has like this jazzy vibe to it. You know what I mean? Which is dope. Then you got Gorilla. That's another dope song. And like I said, Powerhouse Hobbs. Dope album, man. Got a lot of bangers on here. A lot of bangers, man. But you know, one sign of a good record for me is when you don't skip. You know what I'm saying? If you constantly skipping out song after song, which in this era, and I'm not trying to like pick on it. It's a lot of dope MCs out here. It's sad that you have to dig for it and look, but one of the signs for a great album to me is that you could just put it in put it on, whether you're streaming it or whatever, and you just ride it, from album to album. Back in the days, albums were like movies. You know what I mean? There was a concept to it, and that's one thing I love about West Side Guns. He has like a concept to his albums. You know what I mean? The album covers goes with the album. The artwork goes with the music. A lot of artists, they just put songs together and just put it out there. And in these days and time, it works to each his own. You know what I mean? Some people like it, some people don't. But I came from that era, man, the Red Man era. You know what I mean? Wu Tang. These dudes had concepts. You know what I mean? They had a whole body of work. And one thing I love about Griselda, now, another favorite of mine is Conway the Machine, um, Duke can spit. And definitely one of the dopest MCs out there. But definitely a dope album. How much mics would I give this album? I'll give it 3 mics. 3 mics, which is satisfying. It's dope. Is it groundbreaking or anything like I said? Nah, it's not groundbreaking. But it's a dope album added to his catalog. And another thing that I love about Griselda, they put out music constantly. And in this atmosphere of music, you gotta do it. The bad thing about it is that you don't get to sit with an album for a while. Like back in the days when you put out an album, you got to sit with that album for like at least a year or so. You know what I mean? Till you started, songs that you didn't like grew on you because you had a body of work that you sat for a while and appreciated it. Whereas today you can still do that, but it's just that it's so much music that's just coming out back to back to back to back. I feel like artists feel like they gotta constantly keep putting out music and putting out music, unless you're like a Kendrick or something like that, where you're able to put out a project and then sit back, tour, and stuff like that. But that's that old Master P